Hello everyone. Welcome to the 22nd episode of the PSN Party Podcast. I'm your host, SSG, aka Sergeant Sentinel, joined by the XPN Network CEO, ImaGhostbusterAsh, who's always reviewing tons of games and live streaming them for your viewing pleasure. We're joined by our favorite PlayStation vagabond and my co-host, BaldManGamer, who loves to write poems to Uncle Jimmy and play Marvel Snap. Once you go Marvel, there is no rival.
Damn straight.
I figured you'd like that part. We're joined today by our guest, Ozymandias, who is a lover of books, games, and music, and plays on both PlayStation and Xbox. Welcome to our podcast.
Hey, thank you for having me.
So today we're switching it up a little bit. Normally, BaldManGamer is the one that hosts. This week I am hosting. And BaldManGamer will be taking over for 20 questions, but for this show I am going to be hosting for pretty much the entire show. So we're going to start with what everyone's been playing this week, and I'll go to our guest first. Ozymandias, what have you been playing this week?
The entire week I have been playing the new Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It has taken all my time, to be honest. I haven't had a chance to play anything else. I think it's a really good game, despite the performance issues that it has, as you know, especially on PC. I play it on Xbox right now, but it has drawn me in. The world is great. Before that, I tried Redfall a bit, but it didn't last long, unfortunately. The last piece of Benedict Fox. Haven't finished that yet, but I intend to, and that's pretty much it for now.
Nice. It's a good lineup, and I know a lot of people kind of fell off on Redfall, but that's because it has issues. I do know that it kind of felt like Redfall was at a disadvantage because so many people were drawn to Jedi Survivor, especially Star Wars fans, but just gamers in general, because of how much love and, I guess, effort Respawn has really put into the Jedi series. Did you encounter any of the technical issues that people were talking about with your playthrough of Jedi Survivor?
Not really. I have had a few minor issues, some drops in frames. For the record, I play in quality mode. I think it's more stable despite the lower frames, and I think it's right now it's better than performance mode.
Right.
Still, I can't say I encountered anything major. Just a few cases during battles where the frames would drop, and even when you finish the battle, it would continue to have stuttering. And the only way to fix that was to close the game and start it over again. Other than that, the game was very enjoyable for me. Nothing game breaking.
Nice. Good to hear that it's at least in a good playable state right now. It could always be better, but hopefully Respawn will release that patch soon.
The patches worked already, yeah.
Very nice. Ash, what have you been playing this week? I know you play a lot of games, so you might have to narrow it down to like your top 12.
Honestly, you know what, right? I haven't played much at all this week. I'm trying to clear through some work stuff and just some live stuff just to sort of get out of it. But the main thing I've finally gone back to Assassin's Creed Valhalla to sort of do the last DLC, and also they brought out that sort of like final chapter DLC. Literally one of my favorite games in the last few years, and I've not wanted it to end, so I've sort of put off playing it because I don't know what I'll do when I finish it. I've put about 155 hours into it so far, and I'm like, what am I going to do when I finish this completely? And I've got all of the side quests done, all the collectibles done, which I'm slowly but surely working through. I've done all of the sort of campaign stuff, bar the last DLC, which is the is it Ragnarok DLC? I've got that, but I haven't played it yet. I'm just trying to get. Last time I got it when it came out, I was like, I don't want to play this because then that'll be it. So now I'm decided I really want to play it. So I've jumped back in. I finished the final chapter DLC. There's not much to it, but it's a nice little sort of final free update they did, which is nice. And so now I'm like slowly playing a bit of that. But like I said, I haven't got a lot of time this last few weeks. I played some Transformers Battlegrounds on stream last night.
Nice.
Like a Transformers like baby's first XCOM game as such. It's probably the best way to describe it. It's like a stripped down, easy to play XCOM style game, which was all right. And I did that for a stream because obviously I'm an ambassador for Outright Games, and they've got a bundle with it in that's on sale till Friday, and all the profits go to UNICEF. So I was trying to sort of highlight that for them. But other than that, this last few weeks, I haven't played a lot. We played a lot of Redfall, like since the last PSN podcast. We have me, BMG, and Fabio played a bit of Redfall. I'd like to get a bit more put into that, but it's not a game I want to play on my own. It's a game that I only enjoy with friends and like a group.
Yeah.
So there's that. But I have picked up a few games. I literally, for the first time in a long time, actually went out and bought some, not like physicals, but I bought some digital games, and I was like, right, I'll get these installed and I might play them soon. But yeah, it's mainly been Valhalla, and it's like a slow plot. I just like getting lost in the environments and the world. It's such a good game. It's a better live service game than Destiny. So
most live service games are better than Destiny 2. Not gonna lie.
I hope like Ubisoft use that model for future Assassin's Creed games. I just hope they take out a lot of the in the main game. I just hope they don't bloat it as much. That's the Valhalla's downside, is there's so many when you first like get into the game, you haven't completed stuff, there's just so many icons on the map because there's so many things to find in each of the regions.
Yeah.
But if they took out that and made it more like Assassin's Creed 2, but they kept updating it like they've done, like with Valhalla, they've done free regional, like free seasonal updates. They've done a few tie-in updates. They tied in with the Origins woman. They've done some other free DLCs, and then they've done like obviously the season pass couple of DLCs plus the final DLC. So I think it's a really good model they've done. Plus they've got there is a paid shop, but most of them, like I say, you don't need any of it. It's all just cosmetic stuff that you don't need. Like I want to buy a giant panda to ride around on, but I don't need to play the game. So I think more games should look at that and that model and implement it. And I hope they use it for future Assassin's Creed games, especially since we're talking about Mirage later. And I just hope they just remove a lot of the bloat. That's the only downside, is the Ubisoft bloat at the moment. And I also finished the first Assassin's Creed novel yesterday. I've been meaning to finish reading it, so I sat down for an hour or so and read the end of it. So I'm going to start on the second one now.
Nice. So, yeah. Are you a big Assassin's Creed fan?
No, like I said, until I played Valhalla, right? I'd played Assassin's Creed 1 for about...
Well, I should rephrase that. Are you a big Assassin's Creed fan now?
Yes. So, like, I played Valhalla, loved it. Maybe because it was more a Viking game than an Assassin's Creed game. But because of that, I went back and got the Ezio collection. And I started playing that, and I really enjoy it. I like that story. And I think I own all of the Assassin's Creeds now, literally all of them on the Xbox that you can get. All the DLCs I bought up, because they're always on sale. Like Assassin's Creed is literally at half price, literally every week on an Xbox sale. So, and they were giving them away on games with gold and stuff with that. So I've now accumulated all of them digitally, including the 360 games. So I'm slowly but surely working my way through them. I finished 2. I've started the next one. Is it Brotherhood or something? I'm not sure what the next Ezio one is. And now I'm going to start on 3 soon as well.
Nice.
But yeah, I quite like them. And I've got most of the novels now. I picked up a big bundle online cheap. So I've only got a couple I'm missing, but I've got about 8 to read through before I'm up to them in the sort of timeline as such. So
very nice. Sounds like you're really enjoying the franchise.
Yeah, which I never did. Like when the first game, it is not a good game. At all, and it put me off originally. But going back to them now, yeah, really fun, really enjoyable. And going back to the older stuff, it's a breeze to play. Like you can get through the main game in like 15 to 20 hours, not 100 hours. Do you know what I mean? It's great to play games that aren't 7,000 hours long nowadays. Just don't have time.
Yeah, I completely agree. BMG, what have you been playing this week besides Destiny 2 and Marvel Snap?
Oh, now more for me to say then. No, first of all, Ozzy, it's awesome to have you on the show, mate. Thank you for coming along, and I love the avatar that you picked.
Thank you.
Grey Fox, gotta love it.
Yeah.
Gotta love it. What have I been playing? So yeah, apart from obviously Destiny 2 and my usual Marvel Snap on a daily basis, as Ash said before, me, Ash, Fabio, we all played some Redfall. We did it over a couple of days. I think we played, didn't we? 2 days, something like that. We got some gaming in.
Yeah, I think we played back to back for a couple of days, or 2 or 3, because we also played with Muppet as well, didn't we? I think we did we play 2 and then one with Muppet? I can't remember. We played a few days of it. Some of it, yeah. Fabio just totally forgot to show up till the end. He got like half an hour with us because he didn't know his time differences.
We're too busy making some experimental milk in the laboratory.
Yeah, that's it. But I'm of the opinion that I enjoy Redfall. It's not a bad game. It's just not a great game. It's very average, but fun at least to play.
Yeah. Oh, it's got its issues. He received a patch yesterday. I don't know what that's actually improved or changed. So I have to jump back in to check out what it's done. But Sentinel wouldn't play with us because he just wanted to play it on his own.
Yeah, I noticed that. He played on his own, didn't play with us once, then put a video out without us. And
I had to finish I had to play through as fast as I could so I could put out a video.
No excuse.
No, we don't accept that.
We're taking our time for the Xbox, the XPN channel video. It's going to be in depth and give that proper perspective where you play it with friends and not solo. You shouldn't play it with. Solo.
Well, it's actually important to have both aspects covered because the game wasn't built for solo. So you want to see how the game is for solo, and you want to see how the game is for co-op because it's 2 different experiences essentially.
He's making some excuses up here.
Yeah,
is it not credible? Is it not credible?
I can smell the bullshit from here.
No.
That's a big pond between us.
You can smell the bullshit, huh? That was funny. Yep.
Other than that, Jedi Survivor, been playing a bit more of that. It received another patch. See, when it launched, everyone had all these issues. I didn't have any. The game literally run flawless for me. Not a single issue, apart from his hair glowed slightly. But other than that, game's fine. We received the latest patch 2 days ago, and I've got screen tear, I've had crashes, I've had really bad popping with scenery literally right in front of me. So I think I'm going to have to wait for another patch before I can jump back in because it feels at the moment, and it's a shame to say, it just feels unplayable at the moment for me.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I think they seem to be giving patches pretty fast. They have been consistent with that at least, even though it shouldn't be in that position. But we're now at patch number 4, I think.
Yeah,
third. No, it's third patch. You had your day 1 patch. Yeah. You had another patch that dropped, and then patch that dropped 2 days ago or day and a half ago, depending where you are in the world. But yeah, it's a shame because I jumped on before, thought I'll have a bit more of a play, and I think I got about 5 minutes in, and I was just getting screen tearing, and then it like popped in some scenery while I was running. And I got stuck in the middle of it, and the game crashed. I thought, no, right, I'm going to have to turn that off for now and come back to it later. It's a shame because I want to get through it because it's quite an interesting story. It's been really good so far. But,
so we should vote it 59 on Metacritic then because it's so glitchy, it's unplayable.
Would if I was in the state it's in now on how I'm playing it now. If I had to give it a score out of 10, at the moment it would probably be a 6.
That's
right now for me. I think I would give it 9. That's how few problems I've had with the game and how much I like everything about it because it seems to be it's an overall upgrade on everything compared to the last game. But I guess I'm lucky because I don't seem to have problems with it and bugs or performance issues. It's running great for me. So for me right now, it's a 9.
If you asked me a week ago, it would have been a 9, but the latest patch has just ruined it. And to UK Dazarus, don't get any of that on the Saturn. You don't get anything on the Saturn because it's a dead console because it was awful and nobody bought it apart from you.
That's exactly right. Well, talking about upcoming games, and they're not exactly new games, but they are coming to PlayStation Plus. I want to start with that topic first because it's always kind of it's a back and forth, I guess you could say, as far as PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Gold. And PlayStation Plus is always hands down better. Their selection is always better, especially for their monthly offerings. And as of May 16th, they're beefing up their game catalog. Now, this, of course, isn't the free games for the month of May, but this is going to the game catalog. And what PlayStation essentially did, for those of you that might not know, is they merged PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus, so you have different tiers of PlayStation Plus. And, of course, that means that with PlayStation Plus, if you subscribe to these certain tiers, you're going to get all these quality games. May 16th, they're adding tons of new games. They're adding Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, Humanity, Watch Dogs Legion, Dishonored 2 and Death of the Outsider, Sakuna, Tomb Raider Trilogy, Bus Sim 21, TEW 2, Wolfenstein Youngblood, Dimesia, Rainworld, Lake, Conan Exiles, Rune Factory 4, Story of Season, FOMT, and Soundfall. Do any of you guys? I'll come to you first, Ozymandias. Do you subscribe to PlayStation Plus? Any of the tiers?
Right now, I don't. I still don't have my PS5. I'm mostly playing on Xbox lately. I'm planning to get a PS5, but right now I'm waiting for the hopefully PS5 Pro announcement or Slim. But I do intend to subscribe to the second tier. I forget the names. It's not a premium.
PS Plus
extra.
Plus.
Yeah, PS Plus Extra or something. I don't remember. Yeah,
I definitely want to subscribe to that when I get my PS5 and start playing more on it. They do have a good catalog and they keep upgrading it. They don't have games day one, as we know, like Game Pass, but they're pretty consistent lately with the games they're adding. They're making good catalog, so I think it's a good deal to have.
Nice, I completely agree. What do you think, BMG?
You've got some really good games.
I didn't mean to catch you by surprise there.
No, sorry. I was literally just doing something. My bad. Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. That is PS5 exclusive. That's probably one of the only game that actually takes full advantage of the PS5, which is crazy to say. But yeah, it's a really good game. Highly recommend playing it. It's just the graphic options. You have about 5 or 6 different options you can choose from, so you can mix and match between performance, ray tracing, fidelity, which is really good. Humanity, that's a day and date, which you don't get many on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
So it's literally Humanity. We saw it at the last showcase and the original showcase when they first announced the PlayStation 5. So Humanity's day one. Watch Dogs Legion, I already own. I lost an interest in that really quickly. Dishonored, not my type of game. Tomb Raider Trilogy, that's a really good get. Because did they recently re-release it as a trilogy pack? I don't know if that come with any optimizations or anything, but yeah, good get, good selection this month, and again, loads of games, plenty of value for money, and I'm in the PlayStation Plus Extra tier.
Nice. What about you, Ash? Do you subscribe to PS Plus?
Yeah, I'm subscribed to the top tier. I can't remember what it's called. PS Plus Sucker Edition or something.
Right.
The empty wallet tier. But I got a good deal on it for a year, so I subscribed for a year. Do you know what? Like, I'm happy Ratchet and Clank's there because when I had my original PS5. That was one of the games I started and never finished, but I haven't repurchased it since I got my new PS5. Like BMG says, Humanity is a cool day one. It's not my cup of tea. It looks a bit like more of a puzzle game for me, but it's something. It's a good step in the right direction. And
I mean, who are you kidding though? You play all types of games.
I'm not super fussed. Like, if I don't have to for a review, I'm not one for like proper puzzly games because I just don't want to think. If I play a video game, I want to sort of I want to chill. I want to like.
Right now, EA is like, we have a game for you. You don't want to think. There you go.
That's it. So I just want to chill out and play. Sakuna is an interesting looking like Japanesey style game, which will probably appeal to people. The other stuff on that list are great. But they've all been on Game Pass like a year or two ago now. So like PS Plus is coming into its own now, but with great monthly editions. But for anyone who's had Game Pass, 90% of them have been previously on like Game Pass and stuff. So yeah. Other than Ratchet and Clank, Humanity, and that Sakuna from that list, there's nothing that makes me go, I need to subscribe. But if I didn't subscribe to Game Pass, that's a fantastic list. There's also a few classics getting added as well, which you didn't mention. Siphon Filter, Logan Shadow, nice. Blade Dancer, Lineage of Light, which I don't think I've ever heard of. I'm going to Google that. Blade Dancer, Lineage of Light.
Ghostbusters, the video game remastered.
Yeah, I've got that. I own that on Xbox, but it's a good little game. And Pursuit Force as well. So
nice.
Pursuit Force is a PSP game, I believe, and I believe the other one might be as well. What I just said. So Pursuit Force was a police PSP game where you chase people down. So I'm looking forward to that coming out. This is what I subscribed that to for was for the classics, and so far they've been very lackluster.
Yeah.
But if they add more PSP games, because that Blade Dance Lineage of Light was a PSP JRPG that I've never played, I'll give it a go. Because more PSP games should be added. The PSP was great, and it's just a shame it's sort of been forgotten by Sony. So it's nice that they're starting to put them on. But other than the classics and the exclusives, so far like the additions have basically just been rehashes of old Game Pass games. But like now, Game Pass is starting to get some of the stuff that's been on PS Plus. Like you get your stuff like, what's it called now? With the bug snacks and stuff like that. So it works in both ways, doesn't it? So I'll download all the exclusives, and do you know what? The PlayStation 5 and the PS4 have some really weird Japanese games that I've never heard of. So I always I give them a try, even if I only play them for an hour or two. I'll give them a try on for free. But yeah, I just like the weird and wonderful. So always fun.
It's nice to see tons of games on this service. It's like games you might not play for longer than a couple hours, but it's great to have all these different types of games to choose from.
Yeah, and it's great competitions pushing this, isn't it? So if there was no Game Pass, we'd still have that terrible game at PlayStation Plus we had previously with the PS Now. That was rubbish.
Yeah.
They've upped their game. Even Nintendo starting to actually put all their actual retro games on their Switch now, which they were adamant they were just never going to do because they just don't care. Yeah. So it's nice that there is some sort of competition which is pushing everything forward and making just everyone get better on their own consoles. So
and we've said that before about PlayStation, that the best thing for them is Xbox coming into this generation ready to fight. Because if they're coming in ready to fight, PlayStation has to up their ante, and that means they're putting better exclusives out, and they're putting these high quality games on PlayStation Plus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
True.
Let me see. Our next topic is next Assassin's Creed, now apparently sneaking into October. Give me just a second. Let me pull this up because I know Ash was talking about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and he is a fan now of the Assassin's Creed franchise. I'm actually
looking forward to this one. I will admit, the new one.
Assassin's Creed Mirage. Good. Yes.
Yeah.
It sounds interesting.
What made me chuckle is, though, the tie-in novel is already out. So you can get the official novel for the game now in America. It's coming out in next month in the the UK, I believe.
Right.
But you can literally read the story of the game now, even though the game's nowhere near like coming out, which makes me laugh. It does make me chuckle that they've
No,
done
it
it
has
like
a novel.
You know, it seems like that might be because it was originally targeting, I guess, an August release date this year, but it got pushed, internally delayed to October, probably for polishing and making sure that the game didn't have any glaring issues like some of these recent releases we've seen.
You think you'd hold it back, though, wouldn't you? That's what I mean, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, because it's like Ubisoft is in a very interesting predicament right now. A lot of that is self-inflicted, and I don't mean that from the developers. I mean, we've seen from like the top. The head guy for Ubisoft is completely tone deaf to what's good for his employees and for what gamers want. So it feels like with Assassin's Creed Mirage kind of going back to the roots, it feels like they're really trying to listen to what people actually want. You know, and I don't think it's. I remember hearing that it wasn't going to be anywhere near as long as like Odyssey or Valhalla was. They were trying for a shorter Assassin's Creed.
I hope so. Oh, I hope so.
I know there's a Ubisoft Forward live stream. It's on June 12th, and it's not the E3 showcase thing. I guess it's a standalone event, I guess. So hopefully they'll show more about that at that time. Well, we know that you're looking forward to it, Ash. How about you, BMG? What are you thinking about Assassin's Creed Mirage? Are you looking forward to it?
Yeah, because it's I liked the originals better than the RPGs. You know, I loved how it was semi-open world. You got your missions, away you went, few side quests, jobs are good, and not this big giant open world where you got to go from one end of the map to the other to do one objective and then go and find another objective, another 5 miles away. I prefer it. And when they announced Mirage as a more like an Assassin's Creed 1 type game, just a bit bigger in scope, as in the size of the map, I'm all for it. I want that linear game where it's mainly story focused and they can hone more in on the assassin side of stuff, you know, like Assassin's Creed 2, you know, this is your target, this is the location, you've got to find your way in, take it from whatever angle you want, sneak in, go in, you know, weapons blazing, if you will, take out a couple of guards to get close to your target, sit and wait. That's what I want, that's what I prefer, and it's also nice to get a bit more backstory as well on, I forgot his name now, what's the main guy called? Azim, that's it.
He plays Basim, who is, slight spoilers, is like the slight bad guy from Valhalla. So...
Is he a bad guy, though? I wouldn't say
he's the reincarnation of Loki, which I would say means he is bad in a way.
Yeah, no, just misunderstood. I'll go with misunderstood.
I kind of feel like Loki would be chaotic neutral, you know, like he likes the chaos, but he's not necessarily good or bad. He's just kind of neutral, but he loves creating chaos and anarchy.
He's a prankster, so yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, but it's. I'm looking forward to it. It's probably an Assassin's Creed that it's been a while that I've actually been excited for, because the other ones, open world RPG, just weren't overly exciting. They were good games, don't get me wrong, but they were just too big, too open world, and the whole, like, especially Valhalla, there was pretty much most of the stealth stuff from the little bits you were forced to do in stealth to sneak past guards. That was it.
You sneaked in Valhalla? Where did you do that? I never wanted to sneak. I just walked through everyone.
No, there was them couple of missions where you had to like sneak past a couple of it. It was like really small sections, not to assassinate anyone, just to get into an area.
I can't remember. All I remember is just pillaging, murdering, river raiding. You get your boat, you blow your horn, all your whole boat just empties, and you're just absolutely destroying.
Yeah, but that's not
monasteries.
That's not Assassin's Creed.
No, but it's a good Viking game.
It should have just been a Viking game, not an Assassin's Creed.
Well, to be fair, like, because I'd not played Assassin's Creed, I got to the end and was like, "What's this crap?" Like, I'm playing as a Viking, and now I'm like plugging into Matrix. I was like, "This is stupid." So I went back and sort of figured. I must admit, the first Assassin's Creed novel, right? Literally, it ignores Assassin's Creed 1. It's a novel of Assassin's Creed 2.
Yeah.
But it doesn't cover any of the out of the like animus stuff. So it's only from Ezio's perspective. So if you've never read, like, you've never played Assassin's Creed, you don't understand that there's someone plugging in and going back in time through like the memories and stuff. You get to the end of this novel and you're like, what the hell is going on in this novel? Because like it doesn't make sense. It's like one side of a story without the like all of the information that explains, well, like, why am I talking to these like ethereal like future beings, and they're saying, I'm not talking to you, you're just the vessel, I'm talking through you, and it doesn't explain any of it. And so if you're not an Assassin's Creed fan, don't read the novel because it'll not get you into it. You'll just be confused.
Yeah, I've read all the books. They're a really good series. In fact, the books actually are a lot better than what the games are, which is strange. But yeah, really enjoyed it. But yeah, I'm excited for it. I can't wait for it. It's definitely the version of what I wanted out of an Assassin's Creed, and I know it's going to be a one-off game, and then it's back to big open world RPG with 1,001 things to do, and no longer be Assassin's Creed. But hey, I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to this like hub thing they're making. I'm curious how it's going to work, and I hope it's just not terrible.
Mirage is a part of Assassin's Creed Infinite, and it's literally just a hub. That's where all the games are going to come under. That's all it is. It's not a game that everyone thought it was. It's just literally a hub world
with a shop, most likely.
Oh yes.
And you got to feel sorry for the Xbox Series S owners that are like, I can't install everything. I'll not be able to install all the games for the hub because it'll not fit.
Right.
Yeah, you're just gonna have a character. You're gonna wander around in like modern world, and then you just jump in the Amneris and then pick which Assassin's Creed you're jumping into.
I'm still waiting for that Assassin's Creed mobile game that we weren't able to get on the beta.
Yeah, it's still not come out yet. It's strange.
It was like 25 gig though to download the beta. I got into it. I know after you couldn't get any further, I did some like VPN magic and I could get into it, but it was like, you need to install 26.5 gig. I was like, I ain't got 26.5 gig on my phone free. So I was like, never mind.
Yeah, it's just
I'm not installing all that just for like a 2-hour quick play of an Assassin's Creed beta. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Ozzy, are you looking forward to the new Assassin's Creed game at all?
Yeah, I am. I have to say I agree completely with what BMG said. It's everything that I think about the game. I like the open world games, the RPG games. I liked Odyssey a lot. They're great as RPG games, but they didn't feel like Assassin's Creed games, which I think is the main complaint against them from the fans of the series. The thing with those games are that after a while you can get tired of them. They can cause fatigue. This is something that I heard about Valhalla mostly. I haven't played Valhalla yet. Don't kill me, Ghostbuster. But some friends of mine did say that the game was too long. So I think it's good that they're going back to the roots of the first games that are more linear, that are more focused on story. And they're more, they have the character of Assassin's Creed, how it started. Snake, being an assassin.
Yeah.
I just hope that it feels like it's a simple thing for Ubisoft right now to make a good game because they have been there before. I hope they don't mess it up because, like you said, they're in a weird position right now, mostly because of it's their fault. So they need to give a good Assassin's Creed game that the fans have been asking, a classic game. And after that, I'm excited to also see the upcoming games like the Japanese one, Ninja, I think. I can't remember. Yeah, I think it was Ninja thing. I'm curious for that too. I hope it's the same style, but it remains to be seen, I guess.
I think, and you guys keep bringing it up, and I completely agree with that. I think that's kind of what divided the community. Is the older Assassin's Creed games felt a lot different than they do now, just because they've transitioned to this RPG feel, and it's just it's too bad, I guess, that Ubisoft had to change the franchise so much to appeal to people that weren't interested in the franchise to begin with. I actually didn't come on board until later on. I think I played Assassin's Creed 1, wasn't interested. You know how Ash had said he played it and just was like, nope, it's just not for me. It was the same for me. I played it many years ago when it first came out, and I was not interested. I ended up playing Assassin's Creed Unity. It was in really rough shape when it came out, but it got better with time. And then with the latter games, I actually enjoyed them. But of course, that's during the RPG era. And whenever, like, I heard a lot of hype, hey, you know, you need to go back and check the older Assassin's Creed games out now that you enjoy the newer ones. And I actually went back and I played the first Assassin's Creed, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would, and that actually has me excited for Assassin's Creed Mirage. I think Ubisoft, going back to their roots is a good thing. Yes, I loved Assassin's Creed Odyssey, but not necessarily as an Assassin's Creed game. You know, it's like I love the ancient Greece setting ever since I first played God of War, so I kind of feel like that played heavily into what drew me to Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It wasn't that it was an Assassin's Creed game, but more the setting. But I do think the fact that they're going back to a smaller experience that's more linear, perhaps, is a good decision to go with this franchise.
Assassin's Creed's back, baby.
Yeah. Speaking of upcoming games, Insomniac believes Spider-Man 2 is its best game. The Insomniac's narrative director believes Spider-Man 2 could, in fact, be the best game the studio has ever released. Ozzy, is Spider-Man 2 something that you would be interested in playing?
I am interested in playing the game because I think Insomniac is a great studio. I generally don't have much interest in Spider-Man as in the superhero. I was never a big fan of that.
Right.
But just because I know Insomniac makes great games, and we've seen what they've done with Spider-Man on PS4, Miles Morales, even their other games, you know, Ratchet and stuff. I'm sure it's going to be a great game and very fun to play in itself. I think I'm going to give it a try when I get a PS5, even though, like I said, you know, I'm not drawn by the universe, the Spider-Man universe, but I think it's a very fun game to play, you know, swinging around in New York. The combat looks very solid, and I think they're going to go over the top with a new game.
Definitely agree. John Paquette, who's the narrative director, had actually said he's excited to show everyone, you know, what he has about this game. And I think that inspires confidence in a lot of people because, you know, they haven't shown off much about Spider-Man 2. You had the voice actor for Venom. I cannot remember his name. Tony Todd, I think. Tony Todd. Yeah. For the Venom voice actor for Spider-Man 2. He's talked about it before, and I think it's such, because Insomniac, ever since they've been purchased by PlayStation, has been on fire. And I think the fact that so many people who were involved with this on the inside want so bad to share this with people, that's definitely a good thing, because it means that they know the product that they have is quality. BMG, how are you feeling about Spider-Man 2, especially with this new news that the narrative director is so excited, he says this is the best game we've ever made?
Well, I already knew it was going to be the best game to date that Insomniac has ever made, because they don't make bad games. All of Insomniac games have hit. And I'm not excluding Sunset Overdrive, because that was actually an amazing game and deserves a sequel. Which will probably never happen, but absolutely brilliant game. And you can see some of the mechanics in that actually, you know, used in Spider-Man. Spider-Man was brilliant. Really enjoyed that game. Just like the combat, the movement, it all felt fresh, new, fluid. And I think the biggest criticism everyone had about Spider-Man was the puddles. the puddles didn't look good enough, and which is a very strange thing for everyone to kick off over. And they improved them, and they made this big song and a dance how the puddles look awesome now, which they do. But yeah, Spider-Man 2, we knew it was going to be happening anyway, and the minute it was announced, and they did the reveal trailer, I was all very excited because I enjoyed Miles Morales. Smaller game, it was nice to have a bit of a in-between game of the main franchise, which it'd be cool if like more studios across PlayStation, Xbox could do the same. Have a smaller game connected to the universe come out, sort of to tie you over. But yeah, Spider-Man 2, it's looking to have, let's say, Venom in, who's probably one of the biggest villains in the Spider-Man universe. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for it, and I can't wait for it. And I do think it's going to be an amazing game. The world's probably pretty much going to be the same because might set in Manhattan, which they've already got the world for. There's not much you could really change unless they're going to do something crazy and go somewhere different, which I highly doubt. I was hoping, after doing with Spider-Man, obviously Venom was a given with what was teased at the end of Spider-Man, and the Miles Morales, what was teased at the end there as well. But I was also hoping that we would maybe get Green Goblin introduced, because Green Goblin is the equivalent to Joker for Batman, and I hate it where these films hold off on what this main, the main villain, arch nemesis that we want to see. Like the Spider-Man films, we had to wait until Spider-Man No Way Home came out, and it was Green Goblin from the original Spider-Man movie, which was awesome. Don't get me wrong, absolutely awesome, and I loved it. But it's I want to see that. So I'm hoping, really, really hoping that Green Goblin is in this game. That would be a highlight for me. But yeah, it's interesting how it's going to work as well, because Miles Morales is also Spider-Man. We know it's a single player game. Are we going to be flicking between the two different characters, or does so many missions Miles comes with you? Who knows? But no, I'm very excited, very, very excited for this game.
I kind of feel like before Grand Theft Auto 5 came out, Insomniac might not have really known how they wanted to do switching between two characters. But as we've seen in Grand Theft Auto 5, you can essentially switch between three characters pretty quickly. So I feel like, and we say this all the time, that games are constantly influenced by each other. And I feel like if that is a dynamic that they want to put in, that Insomniac would capitalize on that, just because being able to switch between Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and Spider-Man Miles Morales on the fly during combat would add so much more depth to how you tackle certain missions, certain objectives. Imagine being able to tag team a boss like the Rhino guy, and you got Miles Morales and Peter Parker both hitting him from different sides, and you're controlling both of them, switching back and forth. That would
combos.
Combos. That would be absolutely insane if Insomniac could pull that off. And I think if anyone could do it, it would be Insomniac. Ash, how do you feel? How do you feel about Spider-Man 2? Is it something you're looking forward to? Do you have faith in Insomniac to deliver the best game in Spider-Man 2 that they've ever put out?
I'm looking forward to it. I like the first two, like Spider-Man and Miles. They're going to do another great game, and it's got Tony Todd as Venom, so I'm all in for it. But he's not going to come out, though, honestly. Let's put our hands up. He's not going to come out and go, it's a good game, but yeah, Sunset Overdrive were better. Spider-Man 1 was a better game than Spider-Man 2. Of course he's going to come out and say, this is the best game. They do it every time. It's that same cycle. So it's our best game. This is our most ambitious game yet. That sort of stuff. They never say, nah, it's not that good. So it's all right. We've done a good job. But
you never know. Phil Spencer did it. He'd come out and said we don't need to make good games because we can't compete.
No, so he didn't say that at all. Don't you be a dirty lying fan. Big on. But like I say, it'll be a good game. It'll look great. It already looks great. They've already got the map. They're not going to do much more. They may put a few more details on it, and like I say, they may go inside some more buildings or something. They could maybe spend that time doing more internal or some external environments. But they're lucky that they've got this open world and it uses the exact same map in like 3 games now. So there's little bits they can add to it to make it better.
Yeah.
The Venom side, I'm looking forward to. I hope it means we get like a proper Black Suit story as well in there. And you get a bit of like proper Black Suit Spider-Man powers and stuff. I'd be up for that. But Insomniac are literally masters. The fact that Xbox let them get away and let them go is their biggest mistake, in my opinion. That Insomniac have been on fire. All of the games they've released have been great. Sunset Overdrive, I really enjoy Sunset Overdrive, and like I say, I hope it gets a sequel. If it does, it'll probably be a PlayStation exclusive, but I've got a PS5, so it's all right. But they don't make terrible games. Like even a not perfect game is still extremely enjoyable. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So they seem to have got the PS5 sort of like mechanics down to a T. They make their games run fantastically on it. Whatever engine they're building on and stuff, they've made it work perfectly. They can get like 120 FPS and stuff, and it still looks great. Do you know what I mean? They're like to me, they're like the Playground games of like for Spider-Man. It's like Playground games can do fantastic Forzas, and every time it just gets better and better. And even though you think they've peaked, they do another great one. That's what Spider-Man and Insomniac do, and it's crazy. They keep bringing out these visual treats that you just don't think should happen on these consoles. So super looking forward to it. But like I say, just because one bloke who works on it says it's the best thing since like sliced bread were invented, doesn't make me want to play it more, because like I would hope he says that. If he doesn't, I'd be worried. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I completely get it. I want to thank everyone so far that's watching our podcast, everyone in the chat so far. If you are enjoying this, hit that like button. Feel free to share this also on Twitter so that other people can check out our podcast as well. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, definitely take this opportunity to do so. In the chat so far, we have Paul AFC, UK Dazarus, Stubbs, Darth Praxis. We got Grum as well. Everybody welcome. Let me see. We got Thimber as always. Thimber, always here for every one of our podcasts. Thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. And if, let me see. Muppet was in the podcast or in the chat as well. Thank you so much for everyone who's checked it out so far. Like I said, if you're enjoying it, hit that like button. Be sure to share this on Twitter. Let other people know that we're live so they can come in and check us out as well. Let me see. Moving on to our next topic. There is going to be a big PlayStation showcase. It's weeks away. Sony will reportedly showcase its upcoming games ahead of the Summer Games Fest. Sony's planning to showcase upcoming PlayStation games in a digital event held within the next few weeks. Sources have told VGC. Now, VGC, of course, is BMG's go-to for like 95% of our news. So it's all good, though. It's all good. They have pretty good sources of news, so it's fine. According to people with knowledge of Sony Interactive Entertainment's plans, the next big PlayStation showcase could take place at the end of this month or in early June, ahead of other big events planned for next month, including Summer Games Fest. These claims are corroborated by Giant Bomb journalist Jeff Grubb, who wrote on Monday that he believed the PlayStation event could take place during the week of May 25th. If these claims are accurate, a PlayStation event would kick off several weeks of major video game showcases, which are taking place in the absence of the canceled E3 2023 showcase. Now, of course, PlayStation hasn't shown up to E3 for a while. Pretty much everybody's just been kind of bowing out of it. And in place of it, Xbox had an event. We had Summer Games Fest as well. Summer Games Fest, of course, is billed as the global fan celebration of what's next in video games. It's returning for its 4th year, with a live kickoff show Thursday, June 8th, 2023. Promising world premieres, live gameplay demos, and announcements. The show will take place in front of a live audience at the YouTube Theater at Hollywood Park in Inglewood, California. The Xbox's showcase, of course, is Sunday, June 11th. It begins at 10 a.m. Pacific time. It's not clear how long this showcase will last, but it will be directly followed by Starfield Direct presentation, offering a deep dive into Bethesda's sci-fi RPG. And then, of course, we have Ubisoft on Monday, June 12th. So if PlayStation has their show before all of that starts, and PlayStation has done this before, I believe they did it with Death Stranding. They showed a huge trailer of Death Stranding before some Xbox event and kind of stole their thunder. Ash, are you looking forward to this event, and does it feel like them having it right before the Xbox show is them trying to steal some of the hype for Xbox?
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I want to see what's coming. I want to see what my console's going to get me. And honestly, I want to know what PlayStation's got planned for the rest of this year, because right now we've got Spider-Man 2 and that's it. That's all we've had first-party AAA this year is just Spider-Man 2. And
I think they've also announced Factions, if I remember correctly.
I don't know if it's got an official date yet, so hopefully they announce that at this showcase. I'm looking forward to it. They always put on a good show. As long as they haven't got a Piper or something like that, I'm fine with it. They always go slightly before, and it is always to steal Xbox's thunder. But that's the name of the game, isn't it? Like, it's all about business. Right. If you're going to announce your showcase months ahead, someone's going to jump you at some point. So it does also, though, if they're going sort of late May, early June, if it gets like a date announced, Xbox still has time to combat anything. They could always make changes to their own. I obviously understand these shows take a lot of planning, but you can quickly do a lot of stuff if you need to. Do you know what I mean? If the end of the world is near, then you would move heaven and high water, pull some late nights to get your presentation even better and make some announcements. Like when they did that, when they had that E3 where Sony went and did that went second and went, well, we're going to just swap games. Do you know what I mean? You can do stuff like that. Yeah. So it works in both favour. It'll get them the early sort of heads up, but then, like I say, then they're old news. Then when the next showcase happens, it's whatever's the freshest. And then it'll be the Keeleys, and it'll be something else. And so everything's always out of date. But yeah, looking forward to what's coming. Looking forward to seeing what's going to happen and what sort of games are coming this year. But I'm trying to think what else they could do. Like I say, I don't think we're going to get a PlayStation Pro or a Slim. There's no need for maybe a Slim. Yeah. You could live in a PS5. Maybe a Slim console. I don't see them doing a Pro, more powerful model yet. It just doesn't make sense in the world.
Dimber brought up an interesting question. He said, wouldn't they confirm the event by now if it was going to happen?
Not always. PlayStation for their showcases and their state of plays, they'll just say on like a Monday or on Friday we're doing it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They're quite late. It's Microsoft that like to build it and let everyone get super hyped up expecting the world to then under-deliver. Whereas PlayStation is just like, oh yeah, by the way, tomorrow, we've got state of play. Do you know what I mean? They don't give a shit.
It's usually PlayStation announce their events usually on a Tuesday for them to drop on a Thursday. That's usually how it goes. You hear about it on the Tuesday, Thursday's the show.
I feel they may do it a week before if it's a big show, like a big show. But if they're gonna, the whole thing, the one thing I'm interested in is like the Konami exclusive rumors. If they're true, I'll be. Do you know, I'm not even that bothered that much about Castlevania. It's not my cup of tea. But a Metal Gear, I would potentially play if it's not it'd be interesting to see though, because it's not going to be done by Kojima as well. So it's like, is it really a Metal Gear game? Because all the Metal Gears that haven't been done by Kojima have been crap. Yeah. But I'm also interested to see more Silent Hill 2 and also what else Sony has paid to block from everywhere else or from Xbox. There'll be lots.
Whoa. Hey. Yeah, you wash your mouth out, sir. First, you're having a dig at Metal Gear. Now you're having a dig at PlayStation.
Final Fantasy says otherwise.
How dare you?
Right, especially on a PlayStation show, you're gonna get kicked off.
I'm not here next week, so I'm just letting it burn.
Well, for Metal Gear, but it's not that they are making a new one which is exclusive or meant to be exclusive to PlayStation. They're just pretty much remaking / remastering Metal Gear Solid 3. So it's still going to be the same game, but better and look better.
Nice.
But then they're still locking it from everyone else. So,
well, PlayStation's the dominant platform. That's where everyone. When you
Right.
think Metal Gear, you don't think Xbox. You think PlayStation.
well, do you know what? I don't know. I would technically, you would say if you thought Metal Gear, you'd think the SNES because it came out on Nintendo first. But here we are, Metal Gear Solid.
Became famous with the first one, the Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
I remember the original Metal Gear. That is going back. It was an awful game. Looked
I had
awful,
Metal Gear
played
on the
awful.
Game Boy. That was
Oh, you
Yeah.
mean the first one?
Oh my
Okay,
The original Metal Gear, not Metal Gear
Scared me
Solid.
there.
Yeah. No. Metal Gear Solid is an all-time classic. Yeah, you had about 20 discs to play
Rage
it.
quit.
And it was great that remade it on the GameCube, because I bought a GameCube just for Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes.
That's amazing. I want
Yeah.
that.
But
Xbox
no,
should
but
pay for that. I want a
Yeah.
Twin Snakes remake.
yeah, but the thing is though, and not many people really noticed it, and I couldn't even actually tell you exactly what was missing, but the Twin Snakes remake actually missed quite a big chunk of the game. They changed stuff and took stuff out for the remake because they couldn't fit it in, because they wanted it all on that one disc. So there was a big chunk of the game actually cut out on Twin Snakes.
Nice.
But it still looked beautiful. It looked beautiful.
Ozzy, what are your thoughts on this PlayStation showcase? Are you looking forward to it? And do you think it coming out right before Xbox's event is PlayStation trying to steal some of Xbox's thunder? What are your thoughts on that?
I absolutely am looking forward for it because other than games like Spider-Man 2 or further down the line Wolverine, we have basically almost no idea what the first part games studios are working on, apart from some unconfirmed games. We know about probably Ghost of Tsushima 2. Other than that, there are a lot of questions about what they're really working on. So I'm very curious to see. I think they're going to have a lot of games announced together, and it's going to be a bomb of so I'm definitely curious about that. I would say about them having the show before Xbox's showcase. I think that's. I was surprised, and knowing Sony, they like to be reactive. They usually let Xbox, have their shows first, and then they step in
Yeah.
after a few days. And I think that's what I would do if I want to, steal the light from them. Let Xbox have their showcase, and then after a few days, have my showcase announcing all the new games, showing Spider-Man 2, maybe some other games, I don't know, and try to steal their light like that. Obviously, having the show before Xbox will steal some hype, but if Xbox has the show after them, that might be the one that people will remember due to recency. That's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Now, Ozzy, if you were going to, and this is just for speculation, let's say they were going to surprise us with one world premiere reveal, whatever you want to call it, at the PlayStation show. What game is your guess that they would show at this PlayStation event?
What would be my educated guess, or what I would like them to see?
Either one. Either one.
Okay. I think for me, the one that would do it, and the one that we hear about lately, and it's, I guess, possible or plausible, would be Metal Gear Solid 3. I really hope for that announcement, because I am embarrassed to say, especially me having my avatar right now, that I have not played the third game, Snake Eater. I have played 1, 2, 4. I love them, but I didn't have a PS3 back then, and I skipped Snake Eater, and I never got the chance to play it afterwards. So I'm dying to play that game, and I hope they announce it right now. As for my wish, I really want Sony to go back to their older games and give us a surprise announcement like Soul River or something like that. Although I don't know if that's possible right now with the game being in the hands of Embracer. I think they probably own the IP.
Yeah.
But that has been my wish for a very long time. Either that or something like Dino Crisis remake.
That would be interesting, definitely. But Dino Crisis, of course, is Capcom. Now, that's not to say that they couldn't negotiate exclusivity, but
like Metal Gear's Konami and.
Yeah.
Did you mean first part game?
Well, it doesn't have to be first party. It could just be like a third party, but that's exclusive to PlayStation for a time.
Yeah.
Nice, good picks. What would you think, BMG? What are your titles? Just like a game that you could see being announced, and a game that you would like to see announced.
Well, I think for a definite game is going to be Bungie's new game, Project Mayhem, because we've seen leaks of that.
Right.
It looks quite far along in development. At the point, I think they're already at the internal beta stage. It's into QA testing at the moment. So I think that's a shoo-in. I think we're definitely going to get it announced.
Do you think it would release this year at all? Or maybe next year?
I recorded a show yesterday with Donnie on Pure Dead Gaming, and I sort of said there I could see it being a November release as the the holiday, or maybe the holiday title, fall holiday title. Because to be honest, PlayStation, they only need to release 1 or 2 first party games a year, and everyone's happy with that because of how the quality of the games. We know Spider-Man 2 is a definite. We think it's September with Tony Todd's tweets, which he did take down eventually. So I do feel if we're getting that in September, they must have something else for the holiday, because they generally have some at the beginning of the year, some towards the end of the year. We didn't have anything really at the beginning of the year. So, yeah, I think Bungie's game is we're going to see. It's either going to release end of this year or very early next year. But that's the game that I'm convinced we're going to see. What I would love Sandy Beach, camera pans down. There's a bit of a summer house. We go inside. We see all these artifacts just laying around, and then all of a sudden we see a hand reach to the table, pick up a gun, camera pans up, and there's Nathan Drake stood. Uncharted 5, baby.
Nice.
I need it. I need another Uncharted game. I'm ready for one.
I don't think you're gonna get one with Nathan Drake anymore, though. I kind of feel like they retired him, and if you get one, it's gonna be Chloe and Nadine again, or it's gonna be Nathan Drake's daughter. I kind of don't feel like... I mean, there's a lot in that universe they can still do. Like, you got Charlie Cutter that was in, 2 and 3, and he was in 3 only, and he just kind of dropped off and disappeared. I feel like they could put him in a game with Chloe and really have it work, but who knows what Naughty Dog is going to do with that franchise, if anything,
You can't have Uncharted without Nathan Drake, and anybody can be brought out of retirement for any reason.
I mean, technically that's not true, though, because the Lost Legacy didn't even have Nathan Drake in it. It just had Sam Drake.
Yeah, but it was attached to Uncharted 4, though, wasn't it? It was a side
afterwards.
story. Yeah, but it was still a side story, a part of it, and it still didn't do as well as Uncharted 4. And then when they did the optimized re-release of Uncharted 4 for PS5, they bundled it, the Lost Legacy in with it. But you could easily do it. You could maybe for the first quarter of the game you play as the daughter, because that's what it was sort of hinting at in the way I looked at it. Spoilers for Uncharted 4, by the way. And I think you could start part of the game with her exploring. She gets kidnapped, something happens, and Nathan has to come out of retirement to go and find whatever treasure he needs to murder everyone as he uses.
I could definitely see them trying to make that work. It's entirely possible. It just depends on if Naughty Dog wanted to donate the resources to that, or dedicate the resources to that, to really put out another Uncharted game. Ash, what are your thoughts about potential titles? Like, what do you think we're going to see revealed for the first time, and what would you like to see? Not necessarily that it's in the works, but something that PlayStation could technically put out that you'd like to see.
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, I'd like to see more Uncharted, even if spin-offs and stuff like that. I'm trying to think what sort of PlayStation exclusive we haven't seen in a while. I'd just like to see them bring the old stuff back, like Sly Cooper. Definitely needs like even just a remaster or a re-release. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me have a look. Exclusive.
Oh, hang on a minute. You give me stick all the time on XBL over PlayStation remastering, remaking old games, and now you're asking for them. Now
Yeah,
you're
a
asking for them
PS2
to
game is
redo it.
different. A PS2
Yeah.
Wow.
Move them.
different.
You move them goalposts. Oh, it's different.
Dude.
It's different.
Well, it is. I would much rather they'd not brought out another Last of Us remake, and they'd brought out like a Sly Cooper remake or a re-release or a reboot. I'd much rather have reboots over remakes. Like I'd love to see Ape Escape, like a proper Ape Escape sequel.
Yeah.
There's loads I'd love to see, but I don't think that they're gonna come. What I would like to see, what was a Getaway? Come on, let's have a proper
Yes, I
Getaway
was just
sequel.
thinking of that. Yes.
The time is right. Let's have it.
Right.
We need stuff like that. There's loads. There's so much I could probably forget on PlayStation that I'd like to see, but I just like to see them sort of revive some of their old franchises.
What PlayStation studio would you have work on the Getaway?
Oh, I have no idea. You know what?
I know you're not the PlayStation guy like BMG is. I know.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you what half the studios do. Naughty Dog would do it. I think would do a good job if they had the time.
Yeah, but the Getaway. I mean, are you talking super linear? Or are you talking more open world?
Well, the Getaway 1 wasn't massively open world, if you remember correctly.
Yeah, it was linear, kind of like the first Mafia game was.
Yeah, and also, what was the other one? Resistance. I'd love a Resistance sequel.
Yeah. I think Resistance would do well if they made it a AAA game and really put all their muscle behind it.
Yeah, and I think I said a bit back on this podcast a few episodes back. MotorStorm.
Yes,
that would be a good combat to Forza Horizon, sort of more arcadey style, over the top gameplay. MotorStorm was cool. There's loads. Infamous. I'd like to see Infamous, but they've got Spider-Man. Is Infamous a bit too close to like open world Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I'm just literally having a look at like there's some here like 10 franchises that should come back. Like
Infamous. I love Infamous. Oh.
Jack and Daxter's not aged well. That could do with coming back. Pain is an amazing game on the PS3. If you ever played it, I would buy a new Pain game where you sort of like just fling a guy around and just cause him pain. Basically, amazing. It was like a $5 back in the day, but I would definitely pick it up and buy a new version. Do you know what I did like? I remember on the PS3 they had like a phase where they were like proper into like weird and wonderful indie games. And they had like the creator of Katamari do like Nobby Nobby Boy and stuff like that, and you had stuff like Flower and all that sort of stuff. More of them. It feels like PlayStation's getting a little. They're not as into the sort of amazingly weird and wonderful and the like more experience like indie games that they used to be, and that's a shame. I'd like to see more of that because they used to be like amazing back then.
Yeah, it kind of feels. Go ahead, Ozzy. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to agree. They seem to shift a lot towards the blockbuster type games, AAA games.
Yeah.
They are. We saw that with Pixel Opus, the shutdown studio, and it's the same because they used to have a lot of those smaller, creative kind of games like indies, and they give a different, touch to their portfolio. It was something smaller and more creative. Now they seem to be. I don't want to say that they are doing something that's more safe, but it's Yeah, I'm not sure how to express that. They just stick to the bigger games that know they're going to attract more people more easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They used to take more risks, I feel, and that's
Yeah,
what.
yeah.
And I feel like that also sort of died when they shut the Japan studio down. We used to get those games from them that were slightly more offbeat and not the sort of standard style
Mm-hmm.
sad dad third person game. They were more cool and weird and wonderful, and I miss those sort of games. So
Like Gravity Rush and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's interesting that you bring up Pixel Opus. That's obviously one of our next topics. So I'll go ahead and
segue.
go. I'll go ahead and go right into that, just so we can expand on that as well. Of course, Sony is closing Pixel Opus, and in a tweet posted on Friday, the California-based studio wrote, "Dear friends, our Pixel Opus adventure has come to an end. As we look to new adventures, we want to say a heartfelt thank you to the millions of passionate players who have supported us and our mission to make beautiful, imaginative games with heart. We are so grateful." Now, the studio was founded in 2014, and it launched its first game, Entwined, later that year. The game was announced as a surprise during Sony's E3 conference and was made available the same day, so they essentially shadow dropped it. This was followed up by painting-based adventure game Concrete Genie in 2019, which was nominated for numerous awards, including 2 BAFTA Game Awards. Now, they were working on some PS5 title. It was developed in collaboration with Sony Picture Animations. It's not clear if this project is still active. And you guys were talking about how they've shifted to more AAA blockbuster games and kind of away from these smaller experiences. Do you think, Ozzy, do you think this trend is kind of troubling for PlayStation, or do you think them focusing on the bigger experiences is a good move?
I wouldn't say it's troubling, at least not for them, because their model seems to be working. They obviously sell a lot of games and a lot of consoles with the games they're focusing on. Sony has built a reputation for having games with, big games with quality behind them, and they deliver. They keep delivering on that.
Yeah.
Their smaller games, even though in my opinion it's very good to exist in the industry, personally I think that this type of smaller creative games are the soul of gaming in a way.
Yeah.
But I can understand from a business standpoint why they choose to cut these games. I can't imagine they bring a lot of profit. Maybe they just want to focus their energy into the titles that seem to be working for them. It's a shame for me because I like that character that Sony used to have with these type of games, but I can't say that's troubling for them, at least from a business standpoint.
Yeah. Ash, what are your thoughts on this? Do you prefer the bigger experiences, or do you also enjoy the smaller experiences? And do you think this is a bad move for Sony going forward?
I mean, personally, I prefer the smaller experiences because indie games are what, like Ozzy said, they're literally like the soul of gaming. It, all of the sort of drive and the sort of evolution in games comes from indie games, and then the big games will then implement bits of them, and eventually they'll become the norm. But they all start in like weird experimental indie games and stuff. Um, I'm sad for Pixel Opus. They weren't a huge studio. I think there was less than 20 staff, but still, that's 20 people that are now without a job. Um,
Yeah.
Whether that game sees light of day, I don't know. Like I say, they sort of were working on like a 5-year dev cycle, so it probably would due to come out next year. So it might be quite far in development. Like they finished Concrete Genie in 2019, so they've been on it a while. But who knows? I'd love to see more little games. Like I say, I think they are literally the heart and soul of gaming as well. When you said what would I like to see at the PlayStation Studio, I've just remembered Vib Ribbon. I would love to see a Vib Ribbon 2, which was a PlayStation 1 exclusive. It was amazing, and I would kill to see that come back because it was just crazy and fun and unique. So yeah, it's a shame. but PlayStation will not lose sleep over it. Jim Ryan's not losing sleep over it. Do you know what I mean? Hellman Hunt's didn't losing sleep over it. They clearly they've got a niche. They've got these big AAA blockbusters that are amazing. They look fantastic. They have like those narrative-driven stories and stuff. They can then sell them on for TV shows and stuff. Those IPs. It's not just about the game anymore. And I suppose like there's less money to be made in little indie games and stuff. But it's a shame. It is a shame because like the Genie game wasn't too bad. Concrete Genie wasn't a bad game. It just was never massively popular. So it's just another call. But like I say, there's if other studios or other publishers had closed studios down this week, there'd have been a lot more sort of ooh-ah and anger and the doom and gloom where there isn't obviously any for PlayStation. So
yeah, what are your thoughts on this, BMG?
I hope the guys get jobs. So check them out.
And it's like we've seen these cuts in the industry, especially within the past year or so, and it's like you have to hope that these smaller these smaller developers land on their feet, like you said. I hope that they find work in the industry and that they find it rather quickly, because when you're kind of cut and you're not really expecting it, it can be hard, especially when a lot of these developers have families and they're dependent on that income, and now they don't have it anymore.
Yeah, and you can't go to the bigger guys because they're all cutting people. Like Ubisoft hired 60 people today with no notice, apparently.
Yeah, that's crazy.
The good thing is that almost a lot of studios, at least from Sony and Microsoft, almost all of their studios are actively hiring. So I think those developers are probably going to find, a position somewhere else. There doesn't seem to be a lack in that aspect in the industry. Everyone's looking to hire, and we keep seeing new studios being formed all the time. So yeah, I do hope they find something soon.
Definitely agree. What do you think, BMG? Are you a fan of the smaller experiences, or do you prefer the bigger AAA experiences? And do you think this is a good move or a bad move for PlayStation?
Well, as they've said, PlayStation, they came out with a statement. They evaluate their business, look at things, look what's working, what's not, where they're hemorrhaging money. And knowing Jim Ryan and being family member, he's looked at this studio, gone, oof, that looks like an Xbox quality game. Cut it, close down the studio. We don't want low Xbox quality games here. We're a higher standard. We have a better class of games. And no, I'm only joking. No, it's a shame. It's sad when anyone loses jobs. I don't think they were fully clear on how many were cut, how many got shuffled into different studios within the company. But I'm assuming there was quite a lot of job cuts. But clearly, they were working on PS5 exclusive. It was a 2024 or 2025 game. I can't quite remember what it was. I think it was 2024. But clearly, whatever they were doing, it wasn't doing what they thought it was. And to be fair, PlayStation don't really close studios. It's not often they actually fold a studio, and when they do, they usually fold it into something else, into another one, and the staff move over. They just, they try and they're not as big as a company as what Xbox is. Xbox can afford to, buy a phone company and go, you know what, this isn't working, and shut the thing down.
Yeah.
Whereas PlayStation, they can't do that. They have to look at things because everything counts. Their game that they're making, what it's costing, are they going to see a return on it? And I think they would burn a lot by Destruction All-Stars, which I know was a failure. They tried having that sort of modern twisted metal type game in an arena, and it didn't work. And that game literally went to PS Plus because it came out and it was so bad. And then the game's been shut down and the team moved on to something else because it didn't work. So instead of going down that route and releasing a Xbox quality game, They just look at it and go, no, let's just do with that, do away with it, and move on, and concentrate the funds on other projects that they predict or think are going to hit and do a lot better. But yeah, it's a shame. I think they've only actually released 2 games anyway. Concrete Genie and Entwined, was it?
Yeah.
A few years ago. I think Entwined was 2014.
Yeah.
And Concrete Genie was 2019. So if it's taken this long between games and the next one's not due out till 2024, I can't imagine whatever they're making is on the scale of what Naughty Dog or Insomniac or Sucker Punch are making.
Yeah.
So it's a shame, but it's business at the end of the day, and it is what it is. We'll just I hope everyone lands on the feet. I hope most of them could have been landed in different studios within the company. But yeah, so it's a shame, but it's business.
I can smell that ass licking from here, BMG.
Right.
Oh my. just for facts to anyone listening, though, Sony have shut down 9 studios since 2012. So they include Big Studio, Evolution Studios, Guerrilla Cambridge, Incognito Entertainment, Japan Studio. However, Japan Studio, some of the staff did get reorganized into Team Asobi, so they weren't like the studio closed, but not everyone lost their jobs. They shut down Manchester Studio, Pixel Opus, Studio Liverpool, and Zipper Interactive. So they do shut down studios just as much as Xbox do.
Well, let's. It's just all it is Uncle Jimmy putting all the studios on notice. We don't make Xbox quality games here. We're on a higher level, and that's where all the games need to be.
That's why you don't get a SOCOM Sentinel, because Zipper made all the SOCOM games.
Yeah.
So Uncle Jimmy looked at you and went,
"Fuck it's
Sentinel."
A simple message. You're not going to get Jim Ryan sitting on an interview saying, "Well, we can't compete with PlayStation, Nintendo, and the good games aren't going to make us better, so we're just not going to make them."
But you say that, but like they shut down Studio Liverpool.
It was a bad studio.
Wipeout.
That was a bad game. What? Bad studio, bad game. What Wipeout is what you would class as a AAA Xbox game.
All right, but it came out on PlayStation as an exclusive.
I know, and they regret it. And they did the best thing. It's like if your dog's ill, or
you've
something
got those
wrong
bollocks
with it,
deep in your throat at the moment.
You take it down and you have it put to sleep, and it's the same with these games. If it's an Xbox quality game, let's just put it down. We don't need it.
Now that we're done with the Uncle Jimmy bootlicking session, let's move on to 20 questions.
I love you, Anthony.
They also shut down the studio that made Twisted Metal games, Incognito. So this is why you're not getting any of your games, Sentinel. Uncle Jimmy's literally shutting down the studio that makes all of your games. So.
I know, he's closing everything down. It sucks. So,
maybe he's got something against Sentinel.
No,
it makes sense.
That's why I have a PlayStation 3, so I can play those games as much as I want. See, there you go. So, for anyone listening, 20 questions is all about guessing a game that BMG, BaldManGamer, is going to pick out this week. And the way this game works is the people on the panel, myself, Ash, and Ozzy, are going to try and guess the game that BMG has picked out. We have 20 questions plus a guess. Is that right, Ash?
No, one of your questions has to be the guess. So you've got 20 to get it.
So 19 questions and then a guess. There you go. So we have that to basically figure out what it is. They have to be yes or no questions. Everyone in the chat, you can, if you want to help us out, which we would appreciate, you can type in questions to help us so we can narrow this down and figure out what the game is. So far, we've been on a winning streak. How many weeks?
5?
5 weeks? I think it's 5 weeks.
It's about to change with me.
Well, I mean, we should be all right because Ash is pretty smart, so he helps to balance it out, sometimes people aren't used to playing this game, and it takes them a little more to get into it. Sometimes you're actually really good, and you don't think you're gonna be good. So we'll figure it out. Also, while we're playing this game, obviously you can't use a search engine to try to Google these facts or whatever. It's otherwise it's considered cheating. Just to be fair to those competing. Myself, Ash, and of course Ozzy. No Googling or any of that stuff. It has to be all from our memory of gaming history. Mm-hmm. Does anyone on the panel, do you guys have any questions?
Can I use Bing?
No, you can't use Bing. No search engines. How about that? No search engines, no
Can I use
encyclopedias.
ChatGPT?
No, no explain this, Bob, or any of that other AI stuff. Nope. You can't use Siri either. No, sorry. You can use what's in your head, and that's it.
Go into your mind palace.
Yes, go into your mind powers given to you by Uncle Jimmy. Yep. All right, and it doesn't have to be a PlayStation game that BMG picks, but it can be. It's not brand exclusive, so whatever we guess. If it's right, then we're gonna continue our streak. If it's wrong, then we're gonna lose. So hopefully we can guess this week. Ash, you want
these questions?
So BMG, you have a game picked out, yes?
Yes, I do.
Good. You know what? We'll start with our guest, Ozzy, and we'll keep track of how many questions we ask, as well as which questions we ask, so that we're not basically asking the same questions over again. Ozzy, you can ask first. Again, it has to be a yes or no question. Just so you know.
Okay. Well, let's start with, I guess, the genre. Is it an RPG game?
No.
Oh, wait, hold on. You had to think a little bit about that. BMG.
I was looking,
I'm making sure it's not a BioShock game. Just for the audience and everyone listening into the podcast, he called BioShock an exclusive, and it completely threw us off.
Well, it wasn't exclusive.
It was an exclusive for like 30 minutes.
It doesn't matter. It was an exclusive game when it released, and that is what I said.
All right.
You know.
Yep. All right.
I wasn't here that week, so I can't be blamed for your failure.
Yeah,
correct. The best kind of correct.
So it's not an RPG. Okay, that's good to know. Go ahead, Ash.
Did it come out on the PS3, Xbox 360 gen onwards?
Did it come out on them consoles onwards, including after? Is that
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then BMG.
So it was PS3 onward. Okay, so that means it's within the past 15 years. Okay. Was it an exclusive title to PlayStation?
Yes.
Good. Mm-hmm. All right, Ozzy, you're up.
Does it have a male protagonist?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And chat, you can throw questions out in there. If they're not rubbish, we will pose them to BMG.
Right.
Yeah. Help out, chat. Come on.
So it's a PS3 onwards game exclusive to PlayStation with a male protagonist. That narrows it down slightly. What's your number?
Yes.
Yeah, right. It's going to be yes or no as well, obviously, for anyone who isn't super sure. PS3 onwards. Was it the first in a series?
No. Technically, it's a no.
Oh, here we go.
See what I mean with these? Because it's a spin-off, or it's this, or it's that. And it's
it's not a spin-off. It is part of a series, but you ask this as the first in the series, as they're all connected.
I see. Okay.
Have we
That's fine.
established if it's only on PlayStation or the console, or just the generation, the time frame?
Well, it's from the PS3 onward, and it is exclusive to PlayStation. So that means it's going to be
what I didn't remember. Yeah, okay.
it's going to be PS3, PS4, or PS5. Okay, so did it take? No, you know what? Let me think about this.
Why don't we narrow the console gen down?
There you go. That's good. Did it originally release on the PlayStation 3?
No.
Okay, so it's PS4 probably. Okay.
It's not an RPG. Most likely an action adventure game. It's an exclusive male protagonist.
Well, that's also going to completely take out a lot of PlayStation's franchises. Like you won't have God of War. You won't have like Ratchet and Clank.
Why?
You won't have Sly Cooper.
Why can't you have Ratchet and Clank?
Because that game first came out on the PS. What was it? The PS2 or the PS1? I think the PS1.
Ratchet and Clank, and there's a PS5 Ratchet and Clank.
Doesn't matter. It's not the first in the. No, the first in the series. The first in the series actually.
It's not. So it could be later.
Yeah, that's true.
So it could. I think I've put what I think in the private chat. Like from the way you said, it's technically not the first game. Means you could think it could be the first game.
Yeah, but it's PS3 onward, and it didn't release on the PS3
onwards now.
Yeah, so that's true. Okay, all right. So
what I've said, I feel like could be correct, but we'll go from there.
Yeah, let's narrow it down some more. I think.
Yeah, whose go is it?
I think it is.
It's Ozzy's, isn't it?
I think it's me. I'm trying to think.
Technically, hang on a second.
Sorry, what?
I'm just typing it in the private chat.
Yeah, we use the private chat to work as a team to try to figure it out as well.
Right. Is it a superhero game?
No.
It's not the one I had in mind.
Is it a third-person adventure?
Yes.
Nice.
There you go. I'll ask the question. Who said that in the chat? Well done.
You have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Yeah, for PlayStation, that's like 3/4 of their games. Like, is it a third-person adventure driving fighting game, BMG? I'll do a Fabio. We're joking.
This is from a third-person driving perspective. What?
Oh no! Y'all are gonna always. Who was that? Was that Thimber that said that? Or was that?
No, it's Fabio.
That was Fabio.
Oh my
Well,
God,
they're the same person. Finber and Fabio. It's the same person.
Never been in the same room.
Yep, that's right. Okay. All right. So it's a third-person adventure. Is it set in? I'm trying to think how to phrase this. Is it set? Hold on, I gotta think about this. Does it involve? Does any part of this game allow you to drive a vehicle? Mm-hmm. Drive or ride a vehicle?
Ride a vehicle?
Like a motorcycle?
No.
Right.
Now you do realize that there is the ability to ride or drive vehicles in certain Uncharted levels, right? Like where you're, I'm just throwing that out there. Vehicles are part of the combat.
I know.
Okay, I'm just throwing that out there.
Are we classing like boats in God of War as vehicles, like those little push boat where you see the cutscene boats? Are we classing them as vehicles?
No, I wouldn't.
You see?
Would you?
It's a boat.
Yeah, but you're not using it. You're not using it in combat, are you?
It's in combat.
Yeah, you did.
Did he?
Yeah.
All right, whatever. Is it whose go is it for guessing?
I believe it's Ozzy.
Ozzy's, yeah.
And he asked if you ride or drive.
All right, sure.
No, that was mine. Mine was about the riding or driving a vehicle. So Ozzy's up. So this will be question 10. Just so you know, we've asked 9 questions so far.
Yep.
So no vehicles, right? No driving.
You don't ride or drive a vehicle.
Okay.
Well, one with a vehicle.
We have other how do you say companions that you can switch to.
Have you got what? Sorry.
Companions with you that accompany you that help you in the game.
Not switch to.
But you've got a companion.
Is that another question?
No, you just said that.
So he gave you a free one, basically.
That helps you, but you can't control him, I guess.
That's correct. Yeah. So there is a companion, but you don't switch them to take.
You can't control your companion. Right?
Is the companion related to the main character?
Yes.
And then he gets in a little boat and he's like, boy, and all that shit. I'm assuming.
all right.
Any other PlayStation exclusive game where the companion is related to the main
Does this game take place?
There is one, actually.
Does this game take place in the past? Like the far past? Not like 5 years ago past. I'm talking like the far past. Like hundreds or thousands of years ago.
Like Star Wars time past.
Oh, fuck
yes.
No. Why do we have to go down this fucking route? Why?
More context for the chat. BMG thought that even though it says at the beginning of every Star Wars movie in a galaxy long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, so indicating it's in the past, BMG said it was in the future. So
Star Wars in the future. I will die until Mark Hamill tells me otherwise.
You know what? I'm going to message him on Twitter and have him tell you that.
I messaged him on Twitter.
What did he say? Stop harassing me?
He ignored him.
Yeah. I think I got blocked.
Yeah.
It's a hard one because it's technically this game is not set on what we say is Earth. So
oh my god.
Past and future, I couldn't actually tell you if I'm honest because we would look at it ourselves, and in Earth we would look at it in the past, and I would probably say the past, but none of this game relates to Earth. So
now I'm super confused.
Let's just say for the sake of this game, so you don't think I'm missing. Let's say yes. The game is set in the past. Okay, we'll go with that.
See, that's all you had to say. None of the Star Wars shit.
I'm sure God of War's not set on Earth as such. I'm sure it's set somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like it's some Norse place.
Right. Aussie Europe.
Oh, no, he's not. He's gone.
Oh. He said, fuck this, I'm out, and he left. Oh my god. Oh, okay, it's just down to us. That's fine. All right, so
keep an eye out for his
the main character bald.
Yes.
I told you.
Yeah.
No, it's Max Payne free.
Yeah,
that would screw, wouldn't it?
You now just have to work out which one it is. Is it on PS4 or PS5?
Well, just so you're aware, they are both on PS4, PS5.
Oh shit! Yeah.
That's fine. Do you fight Thor in this game?
No.
There you go. I just narrowed it down.
So it's just God of War then, isn't it? I hate when companies release a new game in a franchise but they put the name of the old game even though it's not the old game.
Hey, welcome back.
Thank you. I got disconnected.
God of War Summer. Can you imagine if the next Assassin's Creed game was just Assassin's Creed? You'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right.
Where are we? What they miss?
So the protagonist is bald and he doesn't fight Thor.
What? Okay, PS4 game, bald protagonist doesn't fight Thor.
and he's related to his companion, and he doesn't drive vehicles, but he conveniently doesn't class boats that he's sitting through cutscenes.
No. Sentinel question was, you said, do you ride or drive? And you don't.
What the fuck do you do with a boat? What do you do with a boat? You ride in the boat. This is another Bioshock shit. Oh my god, this is another.
Ride a boat.
Yeah, you do. This is another Bioshock thing. I swear to God, always the same shit.
Yeah, that's what we think, Ozzy. We're assuming it's that, but we can't guess.
Yeah,
100% sure because.
You're 100% sure. Just say it. Let's just be done with this.
Is it God of War 2018?
Yes.
Yay!
Continues in 15 questions. It is God of War released.
The vehicle thing drew me.
Thank God he didn't say which one, the PS4 or the PS5 version. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, and I didn't really have to give you any hint on that. But when you say, like I say, because it's not set on Earth or in Earth times, when you say it's set in the past or the future, you technically don't know. We would, in relatively to Earth, you would say the past. But you could argue, well, no, not really, because it's not set on what we would class as Earth. But yeah. But yes, God of War, released in 2018, released on the PlayStation 4, backwards compatible on the PS5, developed by Santa Monica Studios, published by Sony. And it received a Metacritic score of 94.
Outstanding. Our winning streak continues. Thank you to Ozzy and Ash for helping us maintain this streak. Outstanding.
Oh, and you have someone in chat to thank as well who gave you a question, didn't they, that actually helped?
It was the, is it a PlayStation exclusive so early on that really helped? And then the companion question also was very, very good because like that narrowed it down to like, I was like, it's either Ratchet and Clank or it's God of War. That's why I asked if you were related. Because they both had, and you said it was technically not the first. You could technically go Ratchet and Clank or God of War because they're both the first, but also not the first. Because
they're all connected. Yeah, because Sony, the original trilogy games are connected to the new ones, which everyone knows. But 2018 was seen as the soft reboot of the franchise. So in a way, yes, it's the first in the series because it's the new ones of the right rebooted version. But it also connects to the original games, which you could also say isn't the first in the series.
Yeah,
but I thought by saying it that way, it would have helped. You would have got it.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, thank you. Everybody was commenting so much. Which one was it that was talking about that in the chat?
I think it was Grum XXX. Grum XXX. I think was the one that asked the question.
Yeah, Grum was throwing out some pretty good questions. Thanks, Grum, for helping us out. We do greatly appreciate it. And, of course, thank you everyone in chat who did tune in. If you didn't catch this live, obviously, thank you for listening to it later. Let me see. If you're not already subscribed to our channel, definitely make sure that you subscribe to our channel. Hit that like button. If you did enjoy this podcast, share it with other people you know on Twitter that are into gaming podcasts. Also on this same channel, tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time, that's 8 p.m. UK time tomorrow, we're going to have an XBL Party Podcast as well. So, Ozymandias, do you want to tell everyone who's watching our podcast where they can find you, like social media, YouTube, wherever you are?
Yes, I'm on Twitter mainly. My handler is Ozymandias88 and the Lord Dash. That's where I'm mostly active. Thanks again for having me in your podcast. It was great fun.
Thank you so much for coming on our podcast. I greatly appreciate it. Our resident PlayStation vagabond, BaldManGamer, do you want to tell everyone in the chat and everyone watching or listening to this where they can find you?
Yeah, as you can see below all our names on screen, our Twitter handles are there. Mine is at BaldManGamer. You can find me on Xbox at BaldManGamer, PlayStation, BaldManGamer86. And obviously you can find me here over the XBN Network. And you can check out our channel at XBN Network on Twitter and YouTube. But just as well, just to let everyone know, PSN Party Podcast from next week are moving to Tuesdays, same time, 8:30 p.m. BST, but it will take place on Tuesdays instead of Wednesdays now. So it just gives us that day to rest before we do the XBL Party Podcast. We're not doing show back to back on Wednesdays, Thursdays. So just so everyone knows, just keep an eye out on the socials as well, because obviously we'll put it up on there for a reminder.
And when is your Destiny 2 podcast next? When is the next episode on this channel?
I've not quite decided. There won't be one this Sunday. It's more likely it will be the following Sunday.
Okay.
It will be the 21st of May. So I'm pretty sure we'll probably do a show then, a couple of days before the new season drops. But yeah, not one on this week, but there should be one the week after. But keep it on the socials. I'll keep everyone updated. And the last show did really good. We had Back from the Dead on, and it was a really good episode. We got the history of Back from the Dead with Destiny, and he's part of the Iron Lords Destiny clan as well, which is, if you haven't heard of them, they do like a 6-hour show on a Sunday, which is just absolutely insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a really good show, and it seems to be finding a bit of a footing, which is awesome. Nice.
Ash, do you want to tell our viewers and listeners where they can find you and on social media and otherwise?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. I'm _Ghostbuster with a 0 instead of an O. It's on the screen right now. I also manage the XPN Network social media, so XPN Network on pretty much Instagram, Twitter, YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that. Mainly on Twitter at the moment because, like I say, it seems to be our biggest platform, but we will be pushing out into other social medias at some point in future. It's just getting around to it and spending the time and effort promoting and everything. You can also see all the news and reviews and stuff we do. I've been posting them up on the website www.xpnnetwork.com. So we post like new press releases, gaming news, reviews and stuff. You can find them all there, as well as audio versions of all the shows. If you don't want to listen to them on like podcasting providers and stuff, they are all on the website as well. Other than that, I'm basically just doing content for the channel at the moment. I'm hosting the XBL Party Podcast tomorrow for the last time for a little bit. And then, yeah, I've got loads of stuff planned in the future, so check it out. But yeah, if you want to add me on Xbox or PlayStation or Nintendo Switch, find me a DM on social media and I'll send you my details over because I can't remember all of them off the top of my head.
Nice. Yeah, I know you're pretty busy usually, especially with so much going on with our channel.
Yeah, also, I'll just put a quick shout out. If anyone wants to sort of is looking for somewhere to post like articles, their reviews and stuff like that, get in touch. We're always looking for like people to help with the writing on the channel, on the website and the channel and stuff. Because like at the moment, the website is pretty much solely run by myself, bar sharing, like posting up videos that we're doing for the channel that are either done by pretty much me or Sentinel. So we're always looking for people to come on board and sort of help out and help grow. We've been growing at a great rate at the moment, but obviously with life and everything, it does get very hectic for me to sort of balance everything. So always looking for people to sort of get involved, come on shows and do content, do anything with us. So always here. So yeah, check us out.
Nice. you can find me on Twitter, SSG Sentinel. You can find my YouTube channel, SSG Sentinel. You can find me on the XPN Network YouTube channel. I do some reviews for Ash. I'm also on the PSN Party Podcast, normally on Wednesdays, but next week we're switching to Tuesdays, 2:30 p.m. Central Time. Also on the XBL Party Podcast every Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time. You can find me there. And one last time before we do go, I do want to thank every single person who came out to watch the show, and that was in our chat, Back from the Dead, Pixel Slapper, Grum, Stubbs, Muppet. I know Infinite Umber popped in as well. UK Dazarus, always around. Thank you so much. Thimber, of course. Paul AFC. Thank you for watching our show. We greatly appreciate it. Let me see if I'm missing anybody. Darth Praxis came out. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. If I am forgetting anybody, I do apologize. But thank you so much for interacting in our chat, for watching our show. We greatly appreciate it. Like I said, if you enjoyed this podcast, definitely hit the like button. Share it with other people who may be interested in it as well. And make sure you subscribe to our channel. And one last thank you to Ozymandias for being the guest of our podcast. We greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Until next time, this is the PSN Party Podcast. Take it easy, gamers, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Hail Satan.